credential.
But you
for
have these
politics.
short, like I said, I'm sorry, I'll say it, these short fat fuck. They used to keep their mouth shut. But now they're going behind a monitor. Excuse me, I'm being carried away here. But they're going on the attack. And I feel so bad. And that's why I've always been, as you know, the underdog.
Yeah.
And once I found out Janica, and when I talked to her, she was full of fire. And I expected her to be down, and I hear that she almost, it was really bad on social media. And nobody should go through that.
No, I'm sure it was very difficult, right? But people have a real trouble understanding floor crossing, period, right? Because when you vote for the person, but you also vote for the party. So when a person floor crosses, a lot of people felt that she took their vote and turned it into something
but we know what
that
happened.
they hadn't expressed.
But no, that's right. You don't know what happened. I had to educate you.
Yeah, well, I honestly, I'm just trying to focus on running a campaign here to represent Frederictons, the Frederictonians and people who live in this area in Ottawa under the Green banner, because I still think the ideas put forward by the Green Party are good.
How come every time I look at you, I think of idiot Mayor Michael Bryan?
Well, I don't know, Charles. I don't know why you've got me associated with a mayor.
Your husband. Your husband.
Greg's,
sorry. I'm
Greg's
Scottish.
had 3 mayors now, right? Brad Woodside, Michael Bryan, and now Kate Rogers.
You've seen me, for the record, you've seen me in action when the last time we talked at Carlton Park.
Yes.
And your husband was there.
Yes.
And I couldn't believe the way his attitude was. No matter what I was saying, I was wrong. And he never condemned the mayor. Michael Bryan's the worst mayor we ever had in the history of politics, because he never listened to the people.
That's your opinion, Charles.
He got slaughtered. He got slaughtered in the municipal election.
Kate won that election handily, didn't she?
Yes, and the people have spoken. But what I'm saying is communication. So I'm looking at you. How do people look at you and involve also the municipal election, which Officer Square was ignored by your husband? Would that play a role?
Oh, look, Greg's not here, so
he's not here to defend himself.
No, and he can fight his own battles, right?
Am I being rude?
No, it's just if next time do a joint interview with me and Greg can talk about the municipal issues.
Yeah, no. It's just that maybe it's me that's Scottish, that once I see something that's not right, I just get pissed. And
well, that's why you do these videos, Charles, so that you can.
What do you think of the PC party?
Well,
Andrea and Roy Wiggins.
Yeah, who I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never met either one of them.
She ran for second time, and then her partner is the campaign manager.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like support a whole family, like conservative. Hello, and I'm sure he ran for the Liberals.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, about 8 years ago, and then he ran for PC. That family is doing their utmost to be elected, but there's no sort of too much of a family affair here. You have an opinion on that? Or?
Well, when my husband's the deputy mayor and I'm now running for federal politics, I guess we're guilty of the same.
Is your husband is your husband the campaign manager?
No, he's my official agent and he's on the sign crew.
The sign crew.
He's not my campaign manager. I have been his campaign manager for the last 3 campaigns, but no, we decided that. He's better off being the official agent because he's really good with the money and the finances.
You want him to do exercise, to put those signs up and the hammer.
He's got a good sign crew. So on our sign crew is the best man from our wedding, who's a trained boat builder, and then another one of our friends who's a mechanical engineering professor. So they're having a good time on the sign crew. And
okay, let's talk about issues that media don't talk about, and we're going to be straightforward. What's your opinion? What should be done? It's a problem across Canada. Crystal meth. And Fredericton is really bad.
Well,
do you know what that is?
Yes, I do know what crystal. I mean, I teach criminal law, Charles, so unfortunately I know a little bit too much about these kind of issues. What do? First of all, we have to talk about it in the terms of being a health crisis and not a criminal law problem, right? So when you criminalize things, as you know, people get into one system where we're not getting at the underlying problems of the addictions and the supports that people need, right? So with crystal meth, we do not really approach the problem beyond just a moral judgment of these people. They must be bad because they have this addiction. We have to get past that and say, look, they have a health problem, which they need support, they need treatment, they need a stable environment.
How do you do that? Sounds good.
Well, you
they need this, they need that.
Identify the people, right? And then have a team, right, of healthcare experts and professionals assess the needs of that person, put together a particular plan.
You could bring a horse to water.
Well, yes, and have the resources, but of course people can reject that, right? They're still free individuals to make choices. So you can lead the horse to water, right? But the horse will be a little thirstier if you put a little salt in the diet, right? So like you gotta incentivize, but mostly important, you have to recognize the human dignity of the people who have this problem and not just cast them aside as people who've made bad choices.
Their brain cells are fried forever. They're not coming back.
Well, there's a lot of issues with crystal meth. You picked it, and a lot of the damage is not reversible, right?
My sister's a family doctor is in England, and she said they don't have people in crystal meth walking the street and all. They don't have that because they spend the resources on the person. Like the old Victoria Hospital, they would have a huge building there. Put your cafeteria, put your shelter, put everything in the whole building. The methadone, you don't have it in pharmacy. You have it there. And one area, but you spend millions and millions of dollars. But we don't do that here.
No, we don't do a very good job of that here. There's a lot of causes for that, but I think one of the underlying causes is what we think about the problem in the first place. Is it a criminal law issue or is it a public health issue? And we've got to make the switch in how we think about these things because these people are in crisis and the addiction is more of a health problem than anything else. And we wouldn't leave somebody, who needed insulin for their diabetes. We don't morally judge them, right? So we have to shift our thinking a little bit, be a little more compassionate.
But you can't be compassionate when it comes. You can't. They give them to Fredericton High School last winter,
right?
And they caused about $15,000-$20,000 in damages.
Right.
Get them housing, they destroy the place. They can't take care of themselves.
Yeah.
How are they going to take care of a surrounding? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's why you need specialized treatment programs, specialized facilities, people who are trained to deal with that level of addiction and whatnot. I mean, my best friend growing up, she's a pharmacist. She works the downtown east side in Vancouver, and she deals with people with very, very serious addictions. They're still humans, right? And you have to still connect with them and learn what their problems are and ask them what they need to succeed, right? So she's doing really good work, but it's difficult, and you have to be the right kind of background and personality. Where she and I grew up in a moderately rough neighborhood in Regina and went to school with people whose parents had all sorts of addictions and problems and poverty and whatnot. And so where we grew up, we knew that these people were our neighbors and our friends. They just happen to have these other challenges. So we have to recognize the essential humanity of people and then really get them the treatment and the help that they need.
How old are you?
I'm 49.
49. So what happens if you lose? Are you coming back? Are you returning?
I continue to teach at the law school.
Are you coming back as a candidate for another election, provincial, municipal, maybe?
Geez, I'm so busy thinking about this one that...
You don't have ADHD, you don't look ahead.
Well,
no, this is a learning experience.
This is definitely a learning experience. I've been involved in a lot of campaigns over the years. I've never been the candidate, so I'm definitely learning as I go here, and it's quite an adventure. I have a wonderful team working with me, though. We're having a good time.
Let me give you some advice.
Sure.
I saw you talking to somebody.
Yeah.
I was waiting.